The Falcons are counting on the Saints to save their season and beat the Bucs. Does anyone want to tell them? Thomas, hit that intro.
Welcome to Saints Happy Hour podcast. Always with perfect pronunciation.
Same thing as Demario Thomas. I mean, I don't know. Demario Thomas is like...
It's a linebacker and a receiver, and he just mashed them up.
Anyway, Demario Davis, same thing.
Now grab a drink and enjoy the show.
All right, everybody, welcome to another edition of Saints Happy Hour podcast. We are presented by Hard Hide, Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey. I'm Ralph Marlboro, joined by Dave, Andrew, Thomas running the show back in Poland. Thanks, everybody in the chat. I see a bunch of...
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I see Jason
Happy
Champagne in the chat.
Hanukkah. It's Hanukkah.
Yep.
Oppenheimer, Who Dat Golfer, your boy Alan, Kendra, Bulldog Saint even. I see a bunch of people in the chat. Thanks for joining us on tonight's show. Everyone has agreed the Saints need to lose to the Falcons. We're all agreed on that, right?
You mean the Bucs? We play the Bucs.
Oh yeah, we need to say that. Sorry. The Saints need to lose to the Bucs and screw the Falcons. We're all agreed on that. Did the Raiders' domination show the Saints are the worst team in the NFL? Cam Jordan, farewell. Is it sad? Is it happy? Some coaching news plus hotline, mailbag, and we'll preview Saints Bucs.
I have to tell you guys real quick before we get into all this.
Yeah,
I was over the holidays. I was in Louisiana. I was in Baton Rouge and then New Orleans. I went to the Saints game, and I just flew back this morning. So I'm back in Charlottesville, Virginia, and we're hosting a party at our house for New Year's Eve. But anyway, while I was there,
Bougie.
This is like every year we do this when we come back to Louisiana for the holidays. One of the four of us is sick. Like I seriously can't remember a time where my kids, my wife, like whatever, that someone wasn't sick on this trip. Lo and behold, my daughter got sick. Then my son got sick. My sister-in-law got sick. Like, half the house got sick. Miraculously, I'm fine. But
right now,
at one point, my sister-in-law like completely lost her voice. Couldn't talk.
Jesus.
And my brother-in-law, her husband, my wife's brother, asks her like, "Hey, I'm going to CVS. Is there anything I can get you?" And maybe this is not that surprising, but she threw out like, "Yeah, can you get me some throat coat?" And I was like,
you're like,
excuse me, what? So anyway, that was the highlight of it. That was a little throat coat story, but
throat coat.
It came out of nowhere, and I really appreciate it. Why they aren't you, Kevin?
Why they aren't one of the sponsors of the
You
show?
coded the throat.
Yeah.
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 As always, if we reach $100 in donations, I'll drink something horrible. The patrons have sent me. This is sent to me via a patron via Dave. This week, I got the package came in, Dave. 1,800 coconut. That is gigantic. And 99 proof grape. So
what's the alcohol percent on the coconut?
I don't know. It doesn't.
Yes, it does. They all have to say legally.
30,
I think they have to.
Yeah, but it's small. 35% alcohol by volume.
Exposed by Dave.
Okay. 70 proof.
70.
Well, Andrew, you can add me to the mix. I started feeling under the weather today at work. My throat hurts. I'm feeling a little chilly. I don't have a fever, but I hate when you blow it up to me because then you see the rest of my room and it looks like I'm being held hostage in Bin Laden's basement.
Maybe you are.
Maybe I am. So I don't feel very well either. So you might not get my A game today, or maybe you never know. Maybe when I'm down, maybe I got the good Rona. Maybe when I'm down.
A muted Dave might be exactly what
right.
If you got the Jordan flu.
If you don't like me. If I'm your least favorite host on this show, then this might be your favorite episode.
Dave, we're gonna get the Dave flu game tonight.
So you guys stay away. Stay back. I don't want you to catch this.
So before we get to that atrocity that was the game yesterday, let's just start with the fun stuff because Lord knows we need a little entertainment around here for Saints because Saints Twitter and other podcasts are so negative. So let's have some fun. Listen, the Saints don't need to be helping the Falcons Sunday. Like we're all agreed. Just lose to Tampa like you did the first time, 51-27. It's all good. Like we're all agreed on that, correct?
Well, I mean, first of all, the draft pick's not even like they're going to pick 10th. It looks like
that's right.
I mean, they might drop to 9 if like the Raiders win or some team, the Jets win. But like I was looking at it, and that's the real tragedy of this all you like root for losses is like they're gonna probably lose their last 3 games and they're not gonna move from the 10th spot.
Dude, that perceived blocked field goal might have cost them a top 3 pick. Like, just saying.
Yeah, it's brutal. So rooting. So I think you could root for a win guilt free. I think the ideal would be that we win and Carolina beats Atlanta. That would be really funny.
That would be.
But I was kind of going through scenarios and we were texting them around. I actually personally would prefer that the Falcons have false hope. So Kevin threw out the Saints losing 28-3. That would be pretty funny. But I was thinking like the Saints are up like 3 scores.
The Saints are up 28-3 and blow it.
Yeah. And so the Falcons for a set, they're up 4 touchdowns on Carolina and they're like, oh my God, we're going to pull this off. This is unbelievable. Thank you, Saints. And then we just rip their guts out. Like, I can't, like, how many times, boys, have we been in this situation where we're counting on someone else and we win the game we're supposed to win? And so then we're watching the next game, the 4:00 games. We're like, hey, if this happens, we're in. This is all we need.
Was it Rams 49ers, right?
I feel like this happens every year. Yeah. I seriously, like, over the last 10 years, it's happened like 6 times. And the thing that the Saints need, it never happens, ever. Right. And it's always kind of gut-wrenching. It's never like in the third quarter, you're like, oh, it's over. Like, yeah, we can forget it. It's always like late in the fourth quarter that we have the rug pulled out from under us. So my hope is that we do that to the Falcons. Maximum pain. But yes, I want to lose the game and cost the Falcons the playoffs. 100%.
Dave?
What?
What's
the original? We've come a long way from the original question.
Your agreement. We want the Saints to lose to Tampa. Yeah. Screw Atlanta. Like, we're fine with that.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, again, like we said, it's not really going to make a difference in the draft pick, but it could. And so you might as well, what incentive do we have to be? I mean, I know they're a division rival. Now, if this was the other way around, I think it's different. I don't think we say we would be willing to lose to the Falcons if it meant to get the Buccaneers out, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
But this way though, I'm fine with it. I don't care. Yeah, and you know what? Like, honestly, out of all the Baker Mayfield, and I'm including Saints quarterbacks in this, Baker Mayfield might be my favorite quarterback in the NFC South.
Ew.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite quarterback in the NFC South, Andrew?
Anyone not named Baker Mayfield?
Yeah, Andrew hates Baker.
You're gonna have to give me a name. You're gonna have to put a name on here.
I mean, Bryce Young went to Alabama, and I like him better than Baker Mayfield.
I know you, Dave.
For God's sake,
Andrew hates.
I like Baker.
Andrew likes Phoenixes.
I was gonna say
Baker's gritty, man. Baker's cool.
I was gonna say if the Saints have to lose to the Bucs, which I completely accept to screw over the Falcons, can Baker at least throw a couple picks?
Here's
terrible.
Here's the thing that Bucs fans need to understand: that if this doesn't crystallize it for them, I don't know what will ever do it.
Oh, deception!
Dave is in Tulane hell.
Oppenheimer, $20 interception, the reigning defending MVP.
Oh yeah, Oppenheimer, I got your thing in the wall. Positions of need. The answer is yes for the Saints.
Right.
But the thing is,
wait a minute. I've got to address this Tulane, and I'm in Tulane hell. Comment here just for a brief second. I am not in Tulane hell. I'm okay with Mekhi Hughes, Darian Mensah, Adam Troutman potentially leaving, going in the portal.
Not
Adam Troutman.
Adam Troutman's in the portal.
I'm not a big fish guy.
I mean, Bauman. Todd. I mean, not Todd.
Todd Bauman?
No, not Todd Bauman.
He's just naming random Saints.
I mean, I love that the intro was him saying DeMarcus Thomas. Like,
I know. Yeah.
Have you become Ralph?
We're on brand.
Junior Galette.
Is the new Ralph the Dave?
I'm sick. My mind is mush. Anyway, we've lost a bunch of key players in the portal.
Right,
that's
so
obviously
Adam Troutman, Todd Bauman. Do you want to tell us who this person really is now?
Jeff Charleston.
No, Bauman.
David
Alex
Cobb.
Bauman, AB, number 87. He caught the game-winning.
Alex Bregman. Got it.
Yeah, right.
Bregman.
But look, in Summerall we trust, and I'm all in on John. And he had a tweet the other day. He tweeted out the GIF from Was it? It was Brad Pitt. It was either Fight Club or it was Moneyball, where he says "adapt or die." And I mean that's like first of all, I would put John Summerall up against.
Please take Dave to the air.
Yeah.
Who does go first? We are halfway there.
I would put Summerall up against any other coach, NCAA coach, as far as tweet game. I think he's got one of the best tweet games. But no, I'm not worried. We were never gonna pay Mensa $4 million. That's a gross overpayment. Good luck with that. We can find somebody that might be better, and it won't cost us as much. And we're always improving, and the portal can hurt you, but you can also work it and use it to your favor. And we've done that. History has shown we've done that, so I am not worried at all. This is your Tulane minute.
I know you guys care about Ralph and you send him shots of stuff, but if you really cared about us, you would send Dave some throat coat.
You would.
Yeah. I don't I don't know if I've ever even drinking tea before.
There's somebody ordered a Big Mac with throat coat.
I don't think so. I don't really drink. I don't drink coffee.
Matcha green tea?
No, I've never had boba.
Not even on a date.
No. What a date! I've been married for 15 years.
I mean, before you got married. Come on, man.
You must have had iced tea before.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, iced tea. Yeah.
Okay.
But that's
not that
tea,
sweet
not
tea,
coffee,
Southern Georgia shit. I like the only iced tea I have is
unsweet.
Brisk.
Sweet tea is disgusting.
So
brisk tea.
So Andrew, you were at the game. Dave and I weren't.
Yeah.
Did not go.
Did the Raiders' domination show that the Saints are the worst team in the NFL currently?
I think so. Yeah.
I think it.
I can't. I mean, maybe there was another game that was a bad off. It was Jacksonville and Tennessee, and I was at the game, so I didn't get a chance to watch that, but I assume that was pretty ugly. Yeah, I mean, I just feel like the Saints weren't really interested in playing run defense, which we've seen them multiple times this season. Kind of when the run defense is really bad, or they kind of just don't fill gaps, they don't tackle. It was one of those. But I have to say, okay, so first of all, the stadium, I took my daughter to her first ever Saints game. So the four of us went, all four of us, my wife and both kids. My daughter had never been.
No wife.
This was her first Saints game. A few things. We did roam around the first concourse, the lower level that Dave
Plaza,
because I wanted to see the renovations.
Did you see that long ass bar?
Yeah, the bar, the long ass bar is awesome. That's pretty cool. I will say the renovations are aesthetically nice, visually nice, but the food, it's all the same. They try to pretend that they had all these fancy eats and stuff. And if anything, it's a lateral move. There was nothing there that I was like, oh man, that looks tasty. It was just basic, average stadium food. These markets, it's just it's dressed up the same shit. All right. So yes, there's more space.
Yeah, but it's just quicker.
It's quicker. It's easier to get a beer. So there's definitely some good things, but this whole guise of you're going to get great food and the culinary experience has been bumped up, not the case. In fact, both of my kids were furious because you couldn't find Dippin' Dots anywhere. Somehow, Dippin' Dots didn't migrate over through the renovations.
Dude, you gotta.
Yes, they did. They're in every market. They're in every one of those markets. They're in every one of the markets. They're in their own freezer. They don't have a kiosk where they scoop it for you anymore. It's only the prepackaged ones in the little cooler.
That's right. I'm glad
buy the drinks. And the other thing I learned too is when you go and buy one, come sealed in packaging. When you go buy one, don't waste your time waiting in line for a plastic spoon where everybody's getting ketchup and napkins and shit, because there's a spoon inside of it already. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Pro tip.
All right. So I didn't know that. I'm glad you told me. Next time my kids, will be happy to go back then. But they were pissed about that, especially my daughter. We get to our seats, and I would say that the stadium is 70% full, maybe 65. There are a lot of empty seats. I mean, it's spread out though, right? So there wasn't big concentration. If you were watching on TV, there weren't big pockets, but there were a lot of empty seats. A ton of Raiders fans. They surprisingly, they traveled really well.
Yeah, they do.
They were boisterous, especially at the lower level. And
Vegas, New Orleans, it's a lateral move.
Like those DBs where it says how loud the crowd gets and like
decibel, yeah. That's made up. That's not
made
real.
up. But like I would say, like in a regular season game, all the times I've been there where it's a meaningful game and the crowd's into it, like it's usually like at its loudest in the high 130s, and it's always kind of in 120 to 130. Would you say that squares with your memory?
Yeah, that would square.
Yeah, but I don't believe any of that.
Never got over 100. I think 96 was the highest it ever got, and that was in the first quarter on third downs. But like the balloon was let out of the fan base, and like obviously who could blame the fans, right? But like by the third quarter, it was a 1-score game, and it would be like 85. Like it was just like it's third down, get loud, and it was just like
I'm pretty sure they have two video, because it's a video up on the screen, and I'm pretty sure they have two videos. They have the one, hey, the Saints are good, we're playing a good team video where the decibels go all the way up, and then they have the late season, holy shit, we suck video where the decibels never go past 90 because they don't want because if it goes up to 120, like you're pointing out, if it goes up to 120 yesterday in the Superdome when it's only 60%, people are going to be clued in. They're going to be clued in, and the tinfoil hats are going to come on, and we don't want that. So they know, they adjust.
But to answer your question, Ralph, you know what this game felt like? This is the shocking part about it, because the Raiders are a 3-win team. They came in as the worst rushing offense in the league, 77 yards
by a lot.
Aiden O'Connell's their quarterback. I mean, the list goes on, right? 3-win team. The Raiders came in, and by the way, they got in late the night before because they had mechanical issues, and then there were a bunch of storms in New Orleans, so they got in really late. So I don't even know if they had a good
I almost took that information and used it to bet on the Saints.
Yeah,
I did use that. Was going to affect the game.
I did that on the Saints.
I did do that.
Very reason they were coming from the West Coast. Their flight was delayed twice. I assume they had. I thought they were going to start flat because they're 2 hours behind and they had a terrible night of sleep. The Raiders out of the gate, Tampa, they drive like methodically like 70 yards and get a field goal. But what that game felt like, especially in the second half, it felt like a playoff team that was coming in, playing a team that was eliminated, and going about their business of grinding down the team that's kind of like checked out, and they're like, we're going to go in, we're going to do our business, we're going to win this game for seeding. And we're just going to grind them down without trying too hard. We're going to get home and we're going to get ready for the playoffs. Like the Raiders felt like that, except they were a 3-win team that was even worse than the Saints.
Every time the Saints play a team, that the opposing team always sets some kind of or breaks some kind of long-standing drought or record, that they've never been. Like we are everybody's get right team. We are everybody's get right team.
Saint Raiders hadn't had a 100-yard rushing game, I think, in 18 games. And
I mean, Amir Abdullah looked like Saquon Barkley in that game.
Yeah. He just broke another tackle, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, he looked like Saquon. Aiden O'Connell looked like a Pro Bowl quarterback. I mean, he had all day to throw.
Mm-hmm.
It was at no point in that game were we doing anything right. At no point. I mean, look, the sad part about this is the first half was actually kind of okay. Like we were down 13-10, but I felt like, hey, the Saints are fighting, and you could tell the Raiders were going to continue to move the ball because they were running at will, and the Saints were getting no pressure. So it was like you could tell the balloon was going to pop.
And me, I'm on Twitter. On Saints Twitter, unfortunately, I'm a certified Rattler hater by his family and most people, which is not true, or whatever. But I thought Rattler played really well, and for the first time,
that 2-minute drive before halftime was nice.
Yeah, and for the first time, I felt the criticisms that a lot of Saints fans or excuses they make, and they say, "Well, Rattler, he doesn't have receivers, he doesn't have offensive line, he doesn't have running backs," and that's the reason you can't judge him when he plays terrible. And I said I didn't care. But yesterday was the first time. Yesterday was the first time I felt like he's playing good and everybody else around him is letting him down. Like he had four drops and like he played pretty good. Like if he had put it this way, if he had played,
he would escape and make a play, get called back for holding. Like I'm with you, Ralph. Like this was the first time, especially in the first half. I mean, the second half, the wheels came off, and then he pressed and threw some bad picks. But in the first half, that was the best half I thought Rattlers had this season. Yeah. And I felt like as bad as this team is, Rattler is one of the few guys that's actually playing okay, and everything around him is being let down. I feel like in a lot of these games, they've been losing because of Rattler and because he sucks. And because he's not playing well. That it was the opposite for me in this game. Yeah. So look, I don't know what the future holds for Rattler. Like I'm certainly not lobbying for him to be the starter next season and to like cut Carr and do nothing else and roll with him. I'm certainly not lobbying for that. But I will say that this game in the first half was the first time that I felt meaningful progress, and it was encouraging.
Yeah. Well, Ralph, you mentioned people on Twitter making excuses for Rattler. I thought, again, like you guys said, I agree with everything you guys just said. In the first half, he played great. But in the second half, like you said, I give him a pass because we were totally one-dimensional. We have zero run game. Like, when he goes out there, everybody knows what you're down by however many scores in the second half. We don't have a run game. Everybody knows it's going to be a passing play
again.
Yeah, Kendrick. That's right. Kendrick Miller went out. Like everybody knows. Like we had zero rushing game, so the Saints are totally one-dimensional. It makes playing quarterback that much harder. I agree with everything you guys said. I am totally in favor with keeping him as a backup. I think, like Andrew said, I don't know if he's necessarily needs to be elevated to the guy, but it'll be good to see. I do not want to see Derek Carr play the last game. I'd rather see Spencer Rattler.
No, you can't play Carr the final game against Tampa just for this reason alone.
There's no point.
He's got a $30 million injury guarantee. If he gets hurt against Tampa, the decision to keep him will be out of the Saints' hands. And whether you think they should keep him or that they don't, you want the next coach to have that decision. He can't play Sunday. Right. But here's my question.
My thing with Carr, though, I know we'll talk about this in the offseason plenty, but I feel like where we're at right now with Carr is you either have to stick with him and Rattler because, like, if you're picking 10, there's not going to be a quarterback there. It looks like Cam Wire and Shedeur Sanders, like, they'll be gone long before 10. And there's not really another quarterback in this draft it looks like that's worth taking at 10. So I think you're kind of stuck with what you have, and I think the Saints are going to have to make a decision. They either stick with Carr, or if they're going to get rid of Carr, like you can't roll with just Rattler. So then, like, do you maybe make a run at like Trey Lance and Justin Fields? Like bring a couple of those kind of guys in and let them battle it out the fans,
but the fans
with Rattler, and whoever wins between those three guys, you give them like 1 year, $5 million deals each, and like you let those three, something like that.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing also, Dave, with this game is I think another game that it doesn't help Rizzy's cause at all. The penalty, like they jumped off sides 3 more times. I think I had it.
Unbelievable. Like 3rd and 5 becomes 3rd and 1. How many times have we done that in the last few?
This game solidified in my mind.
Tackling, he's not. Yeah,
I think he lost any chance he had at being the interim coach with this game. There's no way that Mickey Loomis could even say, yeah, this is the guy. So
he's apparently cured the soft tissue injuries, though. He mentioned that today. He was like,
so you don't think that was a shot at Dennis Allen, Andrew? Who do you think that was a shot at?
Oh, I think it could have been. I mean, the timing of it was interesting because after the game, Nick Underhill came out with an article where Tyrann Mathieu was basically questioning the way they practiced and the way they prepare. And he was saying that, his time with the Chiefs and his time with, who was the other team he played for?
The Texans.
The Texans, thank you. That, they would practice things 200 times. And with the Saints, like they were practicing like live hitting, like maybe 30 or 40 times. And so he was questioning the lack of hitting. And he's like, yeah, I understand that like some guys get injured when you approach it that way. But then like you're more prepared in the games. And so then Rizzy today said, yeah, the soft tissue thing isn't a problem anymore. We fixed that. So I didn't know if that was like a shot at Dennis Allen, like kind of saying like, hey, look what I've done. And remember what was a problem before. And now it's not a problem. Or if it was just a response to Tyrann Mathieu, like, like, remember how injured we've been all season? Like, I've been trying to avoid that. So I don't know, hard to say.
Well, I hate to admit it, but it sounds like the latter is probably more reasonable and plausible. I really liked the idea of of Dennis Allen catching strays out of nowhere.
Well, listen, I mean, Dennis Allen, he deserves to catch the strays. And Black Dennis Allen, a.k.a. Raheem Morris, did himself no favors last night. My God, that clock management was abysmal. But I want to say this. I get that it's a lot of negativity and a lot of Saints writers and media personnel are down and depressed and saying the Saints are in hell. But I want to give something people reason for optimism. And here's my reason for optimism. You got the Jets, the Saints, the Bears, the Jaguars, and probably the Raiders are all going to want head coaches, probably plus a wild card team that we aren't expecting on Black Monday to fire. So you have 6 openings, and you have Vrabel, Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn, Liam Cohen. Those are your top 4 candidates. So you got 6 jobs and 4 premium candidates. There's a really good chance that the Saints are going to get a head coach that we like. So that's going to be a good start to the offseason. And I believe that they're finally going to stop with their boutique nonsense drafting and the trade ups. And I believe at worst, they're not going to trade up. So they're going to have a 9-10 person draft this year. And that's reason for optimism. I don't think there's any reason to be any more negative on the Saints than any more of these other dumpster fire teams, Andrew. Are you telling me the Bears and the Jets and the Raiders and are you telling me those teams are so much more well-run than the Saints? I don't buy it. And I'm going to be delusional optimism, toxic positivity, Ralph.
Well, I mean, my question was going to be, you just said that you think you basically said they're going to basically do a 180 on their draft philosophy. My question is what is leading you to believe this? Like, where are you getting this from, other than pulling it out of your own goddamn ass?
Well, I'm
hoping and wishing it into existence.
I'm like
what signs are you seeing? What canaries in the coal mine are giving you the impression that they're going to all of a sudden start trading down and drafting 10 players at a time?
Well, it's like Tom Pelissero when he talked about the Saints coaching staff. He said, feeling around the league, like that was his source for all things Saints, like feelings around the league. So
that means he's reading Twitter.
That's right. So here's my point. Feelings in my heart, Dave. This is my reason why I think the Saints are going to stop trading down. At least is they had this is true. They had a deal with the Rams in place. If Brock Bowers had not been taken by the Raiders, the Saints were going to trade down with the Rams.
Deception!
Need a drink? The answer is yes. Tulane blows.
Oppenheimer! 50 buckaroo! Getting us over the edge.
Man, I'm sick. Come on.
The best part about...
You can't even say anything. You just gave us $50.
The best part about Oppenheimer being our sugar daddy patron is his absolute hatred for Tulane, and just he loves to poke at Dave.
Is he an LSU guy? Is he? Is he just an anti-Dave guy?
He's just anti-Dave. So Oppenheimer, what are we doing? Are we doing the 1800 coconut, which is gigantic, by the way, or are we doing 99 grape? You tell me.
I think 99 grape. I think no.
I don't know. Yeah.
Oppenheimer. Let's wait a second. Oh,
but what's he say?
Nothing yet. We're waiting.
And Jerry says he enjoyed the Zoom call. Thanks for Jerry for hanging out. We do a Zoom call.
Jerry,
every
did
month.
you enjoy the Secret Life of Tomas though?
The Secret Life of Tomas.
Oh, I need to look up this beating of Cardi.
Don't spoil it, Dave.
The Secret Life of Tomas. If you're not a gold member, become a gold member. I promise you it is worth it. Or just click on the link in the description in the chat that Thomas said. We're giving away. Hardhide is giving away free subscriptions. Just click on the link and get your free subscription.
Is this Wigilia?
Yeah. Wigilia.
How do you pronounce that?
Sounds so American, like.
This also says that you guys,
Willy Wigilia.
Wiggy Wigilia. This also says that dumb Polish people claim that animals are given the ability to speak at midnight on Christmas Eve.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh my God,
I
you guys
forgot
are
about
dumbasses.
that. I forgot about that.
The Polish.
Let me know how that goes.
Why? So Oppenheimer says 99 grape. The Polish Christmas is wild. Thomas, you went above and beyond for the Secret Life of Thomas, and he's like walking around at night in like some sort of crime-ridden area.
It was freezing.
Poland. It's great.
Wow. This also says, do you leave an empty seat at the table?
Oh
for
yeah, I also
unexpected
forgot
guests?
about that. Jesus Christ, that's true.
Dude, okay. So if you want real Polish Christmas traditions and you want to learn something, just get the AI overview from Google and just do a brisk run through that, and you'll get everything you need to know.
Yeah, but it's not it doesn't come in the Thomas Polish accent.
And then Thomas leaves an empty seat every Christmas, and unfortunately nobody ever shows up.
Here's the grape. Ooh, it smells really good. It smells really good.
That's the grape. It smells good. Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, and it tastes horrible. Oh. Ooh. That is like an 8. It tastes.
An 8, really?
Yeah, like it tastes like grape mixed with like, I don't know, like formaldehyde, like what's the,
formaldehyde?
It tastes like ammonia. Like
How do you know how formaldehyde tastes like?
I know how it smells, kind of. It tastes like formaldehyde smells or ammonia. Like, this is disgusting. I would have rather. Sally, I need help.
Do you put bits of hay underneath the tablecloth?
Some people do, yeah.
Wow. Polish
This is interesting. This is interesting.
I thought all his Christmas stuff was made up, but Dave goes to Google and finds it. And Thomas just explained it. It was amazing. But
I'm looking at pictures of the traditional Christmas dish, and no thanks. I'm good. Thank you.
What is it? Pierogies?
I don't know. Just looks. I don't know.
Like,
it's a whole bunch of beige.
Guts in a can.
It's just a lot of beige.
I hate it too. Don't worry, man.
Gefilte fish. Oh,
I never even tried it, man. It looks so disgusting.
I would.
Andrew, what's grosser? What's grosser? Poland's Christmas, apparently, or my delusional optimism about the Saints in 2025?
Yeah, Polish Christmas, I'd say. I mean, look, I remember 3 times in my lifetime as a Saints fan where the Saints went 3-13. It's happened 3 times. That was rock bottom. It was worse than, believe it or not, worse than where they are right now. And in 2 of those 3 instances, they made the playoffs and won a game in the playoffs the next year. So a quick turnaround is possible. I've seen it done. I've seen the Saints come back very quickly from worse. So it's possible. I mean, I think the cap constraints are pretty significant this time around. Obviously, we know that. So I think there's some hurdles this time around that make it a little tougher. But like a quick turnaround in the NFL is absolutely possible. And as low and in the dumps as we are now, like an off season where you get a good, now it just promises nothing, right? Like, the Saints could easily botch the draft and make the wrong offseason moves, and next year could be worse. I mean, it's hard to imagine next year being worse than this year, but so yeah, nothing promised, but yeah, I'm hopeful that they make the right hire and they have a good coach in there, and that he's better than DA, and we don't have the same rash of injuries, and we get some good rookies and a good rookie class, and we're trending back in the right direction. I don't think being positive is crazy. Like, it's possible.
Dave, do you? Here's the thing.
Anything's possible.
Do you want a hire that everybody likes?
No.
Like like Ben Johnson or whoever that everybody is pumped about? Or do you want the Sean Payton hire of who the bleep is that? He looks like Malcolm in the Middle. I don't like this. Couldn't we have done better? I'm not sure about that. What kind of hire do you want?
Well, I don't want him to look like Malcolm in the Middle, but I do have an actual physical look that I want for my next coach, and I have said this on previous podcasts. I want him to be cut out of the same marble and mold, that Sean in Los Angeles. I can't think of his last name right now.
Okay.
Yeah, McVay. Mike McDaniel.
I'm disappointed you didn't call him Tim McVay, but continue.
Sorry. Not so much Mike McDaniel. He doesn't really fit in that, but he's still young. The guy in Green Bay.
LaFleur.
The guy
in San Francisco.
You want like the gelled hair.
I want a guy that's got it short on the sides. His hair needs to be short on the sides, longer on the top.
Yeah,
maybe some gel. He has to have at least like a 5 o'clock shadow, at minimum. But not a full beard.
Dave just wants him to be handsome and
just and he's got to be under the age of 50.
Are you saying you want this guy to look like me? Am I a candidate for this job?
No,
I've seen pictures of Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson looks a lot like you, Andrew. He really
more like me with hair.
Yeah, get a picture. Thomas, find a picture of Ben.
And also me on Ozempic.
So what we're saying is we don't want Mike McCarthy. We don't want a fatty.
No, yeah, right. I want the Ozempic Mike McCarthy.
I think if Mike McCarthy got on Ozempic, he can make a case that he's like Sean. He's the exact same coach as Sean Payton, but because he's fat, like Mike McCarthy. We look at him and we're like, you fat slob. But Andy Reid is fat, and we're like, oh, he's jolly fat. We like it.
You guys aren't coming around to Aaron Glenn at all? You're not.
No.
Full Santa. If he goes full
what
Santa
about
beard,
enemy?
Oh, stop. Aaron Glenn, full Santa beard, full Santa beard. I'm all in.
And honestly, like if you wanted me to put odds on who's likely, I feel like Aaron Glenn would probably be my top choice because he's been here before. He's inside the building. No, that is not Aaron Glenn. Mickey Loomis is comfortable with him, already knows him. That is Ben Johnson.
That
fits
Johnson.
my look. Yeah, that's who you know what? That's who I want. That's why I want that guy. That's Ben Johnson. That's exactly
Ben Johnson with a hat.
What about Clint Kubiak? Does he have the look?
That dude. He does. But this guy, Ben Johnson's way better looking. I want this guy.
Ben Johnson.
I'll have what he's having.
Ben Johnson
is Dave White?
Really.
He's a snack.
He's a snack. We need a hottie for a
Look at that smile. I'm melting. Is it getting hot? Is it getting hot in this class?
Hey, you know what, Andrew? But he has Aaron Glenn on his shirt. Look at that. Is he there?
Does he?
Yeah. Gail, give him the 6-year contract.
Look.
Washington wouldn't make it happen.
He's definitely going to be the guy. Whoever gets him, automatic playoff Super Bowl contender 2 years.
He is a snack. I'll tell you what's also amazing is Hard Hide Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey is a strawberry flavored whiskey blended with aged wheat whiskey, American light whiskey.
Liam Cohen or bust. Ben Johnson overrated hack. He is Josh McDaniels 2.0.
$20 donation.
I don't even know who this. Wait, how much did they give us?
$20.
Who's Liam Cohen? Pull up a picture of this Liam Cohen guy. Let me see.
No, he's a fatty.
Not in the running. Don't want him. Don't want him. Get him out of here.
5 o'clock. He's got the 5 o'clock.
I thought you liked what Baker Mayfield was doing.
I do. I'm all about Liam. Look, Tampa Bay, if they lose to the Saints and don't win the division, there's a really good chance that they fire Todd Bowles to keep Liam Cohen. Like that's the scuttlebutt on Tampa blogs and such. So, but I want to tell you,
this needs to be the job. The job when people apply to the job, they need to like staple a picture of them and their family to the application when they fax it over to the Saints. We need to be able to get a look at everybody before we
or don't even just the Saints need to do some background work and get their Christmas.
No, we don't. This guy, that's Liam Cohen. Absolutely
Liam Cohen.
Absolutely. That guy's ceiling is coordinator.
He looks like he can do some push-ups and some curls.
I don't know.
No, I think he is eating Little Debbie's at 3 a.m.
Oh,
unhealthy.
was he at Kentucky? I bet Summerall knows him. But
He was the coordinator DA wanted, but he told DA no 2 separate times. So
he's smart. You know what? Maybe I'm coming around on this Liam Cohen guy. maybe I'm coming around. Sounds like he's got a good head on his shoulders. Yeah. Sounds like he knows what's up.
Oh, he hates DA. I'm in.
Yeah, never mind.
I mean, 8-year
One
contract.
of us. One of us.
Never mind. Yeah.
This is the best description of what we want in a coach that anybody's ever done on ever for the same.
I've said this months ago. You can look it up. I don't know what show looks, but I had the same opinion.
It's all about looks. I like that. So Hard Hide Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey is a strawberry flavored whiskey blended with aged wheat whiskey, American light whiskey, Cocktail and Sons, strawberry and lemon syrup, fresh strawberry from Jonesdale Farm in Ponchatoula, Louisiana. It's 86 proof. The whiskey is blended and bottled at the Sugarfield Distillery in Gonzales, Louisiana. You can pick up a bottle wherever fine spirits are sold in Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas, and Tennessee. To learn more and to find a location to get a bottle near you, go to hardhidestrawberrywhiskey.com. Hard Hide Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey is supporting Saints Happy Hour all football season long. So support the people who support the show. Grab a bottle of Hard Hide Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey today. And by the way, we're desperately trying to have a draft show live in New Orleans. We can't find a destination suitable. If you have a restaurant, bar, washateria, whatever.
Dude, I can find us a place. Are you kidding me? You didn't even fucking ask me.
So the DMs are open.
What about Dave's shop?
You don't want to be there. Although I did get my roof fixed, so even if it's raining, it'll be okay.
So, and by the way,
no, we could figure this out.
Thomas, how close are we to a second drink? How close are we for me to do an 1800 coconut?
Less than 60. There's an interesting situation at the top of the MVP. We have a three-way tie between Oppenheimer, Hudat Goffer, and Budwich with $20.
Oh, we've
and
got
also
a three-way. I love a three-way.
I love
also thanks to Jason Champagne. I forgot to thank him for the first donation of the night, 12.83. Donation with donation message.
Thank
All
you.
I got for Christmas was a lump of coal. And also we are now on a 73 donation week streak.
We're better than Joe DiMaggio. Like, wow.
Yes, sir.
With the streak. So Dave, Cam Jordan did the Who Dat chant. He said,
How come we didn't hear anything about being disrespected by the Raiders doing his celebration?
Yeah.
Did he not address that? Did he not see that?
He did not.
I can't believe he let that aggression stand.
Well, when you get beat 25-10 and look like horse crap on defense, what are you going to do? You're just going to shut up and take it. But here's my thing. He did the Who Dat chant. He stayed with his family like 2 hours after the game. His whole family was there. His dad was there with a custom jersey, his mom, the whole bit.
Yes, that's a sign that he's not coming back.
So that's a sign that he's not coming back. I can't divulge
Drew Brees did the same thing.
I can't divulge my sources, but I have a very solid source that it's all buttoned up and he's off to TV land and he's going to retire.
Yeah.
But he sounded like a guy that he wants to keep playing. So my question is to both of you, Dave, you can start. Do you think he's going to retire? And do you want him to? Or do you want him back?
No, I don't want him back. I don't want him back. You know, you guys mentioned I listened to the first 5 minutes of the post-game show, and you guys mentioned DeMario. You're welcome. You're welcome.
DeMario Thomas.
And you know, you guys both mentioned DeMario Davis, Cam Jordan. They're great. We love them, but they got to go. They're past their prime. They're holding us back. And I agree with that. I think that's absolutely true. And I certainly don't want him to go play for another team. So selfishly, that means, I want him to just retire and ride off into the sunset. Absolutely. And my guess would be that's what's going to happen. What's funny is that I would have 100% said that's what was going to happen. And then yesterday I'm watching Calais Campbell is on his 20th team on his 18th season.
That's right.
And I'm like, holy Jesus. I mean, if he can do it, it is possible Cam Jordan could play another 3 seasons. But no, I don't think he'd be that effective. And what do you? How much more you have to gain? You know, if you had some kind of offer with like the Chiefs, you know, maybe you could go win a Super Bowl for 1 year. Maybe I'd do that. Maybe you think about that. But other than that, I don't really think you have much to gain. Your body's gotta be totally beat up. Gotta be totally beat up.
Andrew, if you have this choice, Cam Jordan either plays with the Saints in 2025 or goes to another team, what do you want?
What do you mean by like what team do I want him to get?
Like he's gonna play next season. Are you willing to have him go to another team and see him in another? Or are you willing to keep him on your team and maybe he's really not going to be? But you have to bite the bullet.
You have to choose. You can't choose retirement. What would you want?
I'd keep him on my team.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I've seen Marcus Colston stay a year too long, and I wasn't glad he stayed. I wasn't glad the Saints kept him. If anything, like it muddied my memory of Marcus Colston.
Yeah,
I mean, Marcus Colston's a legend. I'm not trying to bang on him, but
he got the yips at the end.
Yeah, last season, like it was tough to watch. Cam Jordan this year has been tough to watch. I don't want to fast forward a year from now and see it be even worse. So, look, I think there's probably a scenario where I could get behind it if Cam Jordan was like, sure, give me a huge pay cut and I'll stay and you don't have to start me and I'll play 25% of the snaps. You can bring me in as a reserve. I'll pass rush for you. Like, is there a scenario where it makes sense where he can age gracefully and he ends up next season with 3 sacks again? And we're like, yeah, it was fine to bring him in for, 15 snaps a game and he got a few sacks and hey, that was cool. I don't think Cam is going to be okay with that. Like, he's too prideful of a guy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, it would be very hard to watch Cam in a different jersey, but I think I'm inclined to say if he's insistent on playing and he doesn't want to take a pay cut and he doesn't want to play ball with the scenario that I described, like, yeah, let him go be on the Ravens and I hope he wins a Super Bowl with them, you know? But I don't think anybody's given Cam that money and saying you can start 60 games for us at defensive end.
No, he's getting like less than $4 million.
I mean, I think if he goes somewhere, I think it's to be a role player. I don't think he wants to be. I don't know if he would want to be a starter. You think he would want to be a starter?
I mean, I think he would go to a good team and chase a title for sure.
I think if you had a good defensive line and he was like your 4th best defensive lineman and you were like, you're going to play 15, 20 snaps a game, I think he could get you 5.
Yeah, that's what I picture for him.
Yeah.
If anything, if he's playing. And you know what? I changed my mind earlier at the top of the segment. I mentioned the young guys on the Raiders who were quote unquote insulting Cam, doing his patented levels sack dance. And you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not
that was showing
maybe
respect.
It's an homage. Yes, maybe exactly, Thomas. Maybe it's a tribute. Might have been his last game at home. Maybe that was maybe they might not have meant it that way, but in a twisted, ironic way, maybe it actually is more of an homage to a guy on his final 2 games of his career.
I mean, look, I also don't want to be Debbie Downer next season. I haven't given up hope that next year could be okay, but realistically, it's going to take a couple of years for the Saints to get back to being competitive, if they can even do it that quick. So,
20 minutes ago you said a quick turnaround is possible.
It's possible, but I'm not very bullish on Cam just coming around one more year.
I am
6-win team.
I don't think Cam coming around and having a good. I don't think Cam coming around and having a good year is like the one thing this team needs to fix.
I stand alone on Loomis Island, believing in Mickey Loomis is going to nail this hire.
Well,
I stand alone.
I will say between DeMario Davis and Cam, I would prefer to keep Cam.
Oh God,
right?
Can I tell the people your DMs? I mean, your texts to me about DeMario are
Racist?
No, they're painful. They're painful. They're painful. Here's the thing, though, and I said this to Andrew. Is the thing with DeMario is when the Saints signed him in 2018, Bill Barnwell gave the signing like a C-, and he was like, the
He
Saints.
nailed that one.
Yeah, he's like, the Saints have done it again, where they're being reckless with their cap. They're creating all this space, and they're signing a 29-year-old linebacker. And 29-year-old linebackers fall off a cliff really quickly. They sign him to a 3-year deal. This is really stupid. And my defense was, we don't need DeMario to be good for 3 years. We're chasing a ring, you bald idiot. We need him to be good for 1 or 2 years. Dude, that was 7 years ago. All right?
Yeah.
So, like, DeMario has given the Saints, in my estimation, like probably 3 times what I expected him to be. So,
Yeah.
You know, there's a parallel universe where our linebackers right now, instead of DeMario and Warner, they're Caden Ellis, who I don't know if you saw him get his pick last night with the Falcons. They're Caden Ellis and Zach Bond.
yeah.
And I would ask, like, which 2 linebackers would you rather be on the Saints right now? Warner and Davis, or Bond and Ellis?
If Ellis was on the Saints, he'd be injured because he was injured for 3 of the 4 years with the Saints.
True.
He'd be, if he was a Saint and the Saints had signed him to like a 3
He
year
might be
20,
dead. Yeah.
he'd be dead.
Yeah.
But like the thing is with Vaughn, like you can knock the Saints, but they were right. Like they were like, we're drafting Vaughn. We have a 1st-round grade on him. We think he could be this different linebacker than what he was in college, and we think he could be really, really good at it. They were right. It just didn't work out with the Saints.
Yep.
Yeah, you know, because DeMario kept being good till he was 34, 35.
If not, yeah.
Speaking of making a comeback and still being good, the hotline. 8 calls.
Good
Some
signal.
diehard fan calls. Dustin J, as always. Adam the radio
It's an
voice.
interception!
Oh,
wait.
boy. At least we aren't fail clown fans.
Oppenheimer! Wow. 58 Bucko!
Yeah.
Donation.
I appreciate you just leaving Tulane out of your mouth for a change.
Yeah, Oppenheimer, what happened, man? No Tulane slander? I'm disappointed,
Yeah,
man.
thanks. Thank you for your
Oh,
your leniency.
oh, this
Oh,
smells.
Rough likes
Davis,
it.
you know Dave is sick when he's hydrating with high noons instead of drinking.
Wow, this smells incredible. This
That's not good.
1800 coconut.
Wait a second, give me a second to turn on the puke
It's a
meter,
coconut
man.
tequila, though, so that's interesting. I don't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think. Well, I guess tequila. Yeah, coconut and tequila.
The puke meter is on.
So you could have like a coconut margarita.
Yeah, that would be all right. I think
That'd be all right. All right, here we go.
it looks big. How
Ralph
many
can't
milliliters is
wait,
this?
man.
It is.
Ralph's excited.
It's too small. I can't tell, but it's it's gigantic.
Yeah, it's pretty big. It's pretty big.
Drink
It looks
big.
bigger than your normal. I mean, that's what she said, but it looks bigger than your normal.
Here we go. Here we go.
Here we go.
So, and it's
Oh,
taking you a long time
shit.
to do this. Wow, that was a lot. That was a lot.
Whoa!
Oh yeah.
He got hit hard on that one.
Oh, I'm glad we got this one
No
second.
table slap though.
Yeah, let that sink in. Let that sink in.
God, it's so
Oh.
bad.
Oh.
I mean,
Fire hits,
boy. It tasted really good, but man, it hit, and I am because I did hard hide and cherry coke.
That was
did
a lot.
2
That
boots,
was a big shot.
2 boots of hard hide and the 99 proof and the yeah, it hit. We're gonna preview that bitch, and I'm gonna be drunk as fuck. We are. I'm gonna give it like on the puke meter, it's like a 7. But
7.
on the Get Ralph drunk meter, it's a 10. So, whoo, thank you, Oppenheimer. Thomas,
Where? How come Sean Orleans isn't in the chat tonight? I thought maybe he was gonna maybe join
he's
us.
with his woman.
I know, but I thought maybe we were gonna try.
Can we do you on the way? I thought he would
Yeah,
pop
I thought
in
we were-
and we could talk about gifts that our wife got us that was romantic.
romantic.
That's part of the stuff that makes me want to throw up.
Yeah. Well, we talked about it. I'll mention it now. My wife, the first gift she ever got me was a Saints hat with a coffee mug, and it was filled with rats, like fake rats, because I mentioned the Saints defense was like rat poison. It was killing me slowly. That was the first gift she ever gave me. And I wore that Saints hat so much that it turned brown, and she made me retire it. And
That's not romantic though. That's like funny.
Yeah.
It's like
that's
a gag
cute.
gift.
Yeah, but that was it was like after
It's
our
thoughtful.
it's like a third date. I thought it was nice.
Oh.
Yeah, it's nice, but I wouldn't call it romantic.
Anyway,
rats.
Kevin's getting custom embroidered shits. It's gross. So gross. And I make a living doing embroidery.
Are you jealous that his girlfriend didn't go to you? Is that why?
No.
Yeah.
No, I would have turned it down.
That's what it is, actually.
No, I would have been like, no, I'm not doing this. You're not allowed to give this to Kevin. Just kidding. I would have done it for free. She should have given me a call.
Thomas, play the hotline.
All right, let me fire it up real fast. There it is.
It's time for this week's hottest takes from the Saints Happy Hour Hotline.
Jingle bells, motherfucker! Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and other holidays of your choice. I just want to say, even though the Saints can suck ass, no playoffs, under the Christmas tree, etc., whatever. Let's get my fucking Bravo and fucking ride! Who that?
Strawman / car hater here. You know, Rattler's just got that fun that Carr doesn't have. It's kind of like the Jameis fun. If I'm going to lose, I want to lose with Rattler. Screw Carr. Not only does this defense blow ass, but what is it with our fucking complete ineptitude dating back to God knows how long of covering tight ends?
I mean, come on. It's a loss. What the fuck were you hoping for? A win? I mean, we didn't want them to win. Tankathon.com, obviously. Hopefully you guys keep it fun. Thank you, guys.
You know, our Super Bowl was a couple of weeks ago against Atlanta. We kicked our hated rival, and it was fantastic. By the way, guys, I love the nickname Penix. That is f***ing perfect for a hated rival. Just got finished listening to the reaction show. And Ralph, you're right. You know, I don't understand the Derek Carr hate because us as fans, we see what happens when Derek Carr doesn't play. Guys, I've been a loyal fan, listening to y'all since 2011. Thanks for you guys to being a shoulder for us to cry on. And guys, just keep up the great work. Us as fans, we love y'all. I hope you guys have a great new year. And as always, and forever, who dat? Yeah.
Gentlemen, I don't even know what to say. The Saints suck. That is a horrible way to end your home season. They got embarrassed. This team's terrible. They barely squeak by the Giants. They lose to the Panthers. They lose to the Raiders, who, by the way, look like world beaters. 5-12, clean house. Fire them all. So I'm calling you guys back because I need therapy. I thought about this. You know what the worst part about the New Orleans Saints is? There is no hope. Last year, we were lulled into a false sense of security in December when they beat hapless teams, and we said, oh, they're going to be great in 24. This year, they're getting their head kicked in at every turnaround, and there's no hope. Their salary cap sucks. You've got Mickey Loomis, who is still clutching on to the Sean Payton years. It's hopeless, and that's the worst part.
Well, you really ended it on a sour note there, Thomas.
Sour note, Thomas. It ended abruptly.
Chronologically.
I don't know that it's hopeless. Mickey Loomis, I know that he's hated, and it's the flavor of the week to be like, until he gets fired, we're never going anywhere. But it's a good thing that you're not the GM and he is.
Are you on Mickey Loomis Island with me, Andrew? I believe in him.
Yeah, I believe in Mickey. Yeah,
I believe in him. I think they're gonna hire a coach that's gonna shock the national media, and they're gonna be like, "Why is such and such going to the Saints? That's the worst job in the league." And the Saints are gonna have a great press conference. They're gonna win the press conference. They're gonna change the draft strategy, and they're gonna fix everything quick. Atlanta still sucks. Tampa, not much better than they are. Carolina, they're championing Bryce Young with this great turnaround. He's barely freaking average. Okay. So like,
yeah, I think the tough part is that this is really the year that I think you have to bite that dead money bullet. And so, DeMario and Cam and Ryan Ramczyk, Honey Badger, like some of these deals, I think you just have to bite that bullet knowing you're going to take on a lot of dead money. Taysom Hill, like that's a big one. Like you got to consider, you can make the argument, like, is that a contract you want to try to get out of? And, Carr, I'm more hesitant because I feel like you got to at least have him to try to be competitive in these games. But yeah, I mean, realistically with the cap the way it is, like it's probably a reset year. But I think this is the time to do it. I think for a long time, Mickey justified like, hey, this division, we're one game away from winning the division and Tampa sucks and Atlanta's not that good or whatever. But like, I think now the way this year has gone, it's pretty clear where the Saints stand. And so to me, this would be the time to bite that bullet. The Carr one is a little tougher for me because it's like, you got to have something to try to be competitive. The biggest, honestly, like I think Carr's played pretty well when he's been healthy. The biggest argument I find for getting out of that Carr deal is that he's been getting injured a lot and missing games.
Yeah. You can't be an average to slightly above average quarterback making $40 million and not be available. Like that to me is
greatest ability is your availability.
That's right.
I got a question about this Mickey Loomis Island. Both find yourself on. Were you guys both invited by an older gray-haired billionaire who walked with a cane?
Billionaires hate the handicap game. Don't you know that? They don't like billionaires would never invite me anywhere.
Named John Hammond.
That's right. Dude, I can't wait to
if Kevin was here, Kevin would appreciate that joke. It's a cinephile joke.
From Jurassic Park. I can't wait to get old. I'm gonna get a fancy cane when I start needing one. I can't wait to get a cane. Hopefully it'll be like when I'm 70, if I can stretch that long. But
at the top will be a piece of amber with one of Drew Brees' rib pieces.
That's right,
frozen solid in it forever.
You'll have the liver of a 24-year-old, but the rest of you will be 7.
That's right. I'm gonna get a liver on the black market in China. So it's time for the mailbag. The Saints Happy Hour viewer questions.
Drew Brees' rib pieces, hoping 30 years from now, maybe technology will advance enough that we can clone Drew Brees and sign him to the Saints and bring him back. That's what Mickey Loomis Island is. That's what you guys are trying to do, isn't it?
Sorry. Doctor of the island of Dr. Moreau, but we're instead of like cloning animals and such, we're
Foster Moreau.
Dr. Moreau.
Island of Foster Moreau. We're instead of cloning animals and stuff.
I feel like Foster's having a hell of a end season here. He's really played well.
Foster's like right? He's one of the leaders
my
on
boys
the
some
team.
love.
He's been really good. He's been really good. Like he's got another year on the contract. They're 100% bringing him back. But the Saints Happy Hour viewer
tight end.
The viewer questions are brought to you by Hard Hide Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey. You can pick up a bottle wherever fine spirits are sold in Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas, and Tennessee. To learn more and to find a location to get a bottle near you, go to hardhidestrawberrywhiskey.com. Thomas, take it to the top.
Roger that.
Finger guns. Woo! It's the I'm not gonna lie, Dave. You might be sick, but my room is starting to spin. This 1800 kicking my ass worse than the Raiders' offensive line versus the Saints.
Went straight to the dome, huh? Ooh,
fire hits, boy. Thomas, what's first up?
My head is I'm just just a cloud. My head is just totally cloudy.
All right, first question, by the way. Special shout out to Saints Rabbit. He left like 10 questions on our Saints Happy Hour Discord. Yeah. We'll get to those in the mailbag. Also, so first question from Saints Rabbit. He asks, if Rizzy Magic could harness the power of good COVID, would it make the Rizzler unstoppable?
Yes.
Somebody texted me, I think it was Joey Russo during the first quarter, and he was like, when did Cam get COVID? After he had that like tackle for a loss and a sack. Yeah, unfortunately it wore off pretty quickly. It was like a quarter worth of COVID.
I have to say, if Darren Rizzi, if he doesn't get the full-time job, which it looks like he's not, he is a borderline Saints Hall of Famer for me because he ruined Koo for Atlanta. Just ruined them.
Yeah, right.
Ruined them. And that to me is
they were showing shots of him on the sideline last night.
Yeah, Younghoe Koo just ruined them, and that was tremendous. Like, by the way, I don't know if you saw the shots from Atlanta bars where the guy kicked the field goal at the end of the game.
I saw that.
And they thought it was good. They were celebrating.
Fantastic.
Like a bunch of dipsticks, and it wasn't, and it was amazing. I was like, that is, whoa. So anyway, Thomas, what's next?
Okay, and next question from the current MVP leader, Oppenheimer. He asks, the draft can only help one side of the ball. Which are you picking, offense or defense?
This is brutal. That's
only one side.
Brutal question.
It's a great question.
I'm gonna say offense.
Ooh, spicy. You're not trusting the offense to get healthy?
I'm going defense. And the reason
I'm gonna say
why
offense.
Here's what chapped me the most about that game. The only guy missing on defense was Debo. Like besides Debo, we can't blame injuries on the defense. Like every single starter, 10 out of 11 is in there. I mean, you can, sure, we traded Lattimore, sure. But like, besides that, there is not a single guy missing on defense besides Debo. Not one.
And they
got we always said Dennis Allen was at least a good defensive coach, and he's not here anymore. And I think that's obviously bearing fruit. I think we're seeing that.
Yeah.
And Rizzi's a special teams guy, and we're seeing a bump up in the special teams. I think
Dave, I disagree with that. I think the defense starting in the Kansas City game, it collapsed. Like they played.
Well, that was probably because they were all hating DA already.
Whatever it was, I don't think it's. It isn't
old. It's slow. It's bad.
Yeah. It isn't a Jets situation where the Jets, they fired Saleh and their defense went from being top 5 to just a dumpster fire. And you can literally see it. Like you should have kept Saleh. Your defense was at least good. No, I think Andrew's right. I think the defense getting old and slow and crappy is the reason DA got fired.
Their defensive tackles are bad, but
interesting take.
So yeah, fix the defense, and I'll trust that the offense doesn't get nuked by injuries next year.
Dave, I mean, I can make the case that if DA's defense, as old and slow as it was, if the two dudes don't run into each other against the Eagles on whatever it was, 4th and 16 or 3rd and 16, if they don't run into each other, if a Debo doesn't get the stupid pass interference penalty, the Saints start 4-0, and DA is still the freaking coach. Like his defense is what got him fired. Rightfully so. He deserved it because he was that's his side of the ball. But like his defense is why he got fired. Not the injuries, not everything. That's
okay.
Sizzling take. So Thomas, what's next?
All right, final question of the show. I have 5 questions ready for the mailbag though, so consider becoming a patron.
Unless I pass out.
So passes out. Then it's gonna be just me and Dave. All right, Saints Rabbit asks, what players or staff do we really want to get rid of privately, but publicly sing their praises in hopes that the Falcons poach them?
This is a great question.
I mean, every single member of the defense.
Yeah.
Cam Jones is great, guys. Right?
Raheem Morris. If you wanna sign Honey Badger and DeMario and keep the band together and have a retirement home defense for Atlanta, that would be amazing. And by the way, back to Atlanta because I love making fun of them. I watched and rooted for Les Miles LSU. Andrew, as do you. Raheem Morris last night was as egregious as anything Les Miles ever did clock management wise.
I love it.
And Les Miles had some all-timers with the clock. But Raheem Morris last night was as bad as any of them.
You know, Raheem Morris, his season's feeling quite Dennis Allen.
It is. It's feeling like it's feeling very DA-ish.
Yep.
Atlanta not going all in and not winning the South is just tremendous. God, I hope the Saints give them a little bit
don't blow it, Saints. Don't blow it.
No, I need the Saints to give them a little bit of false hope. You know, maybe the Saints inexplicably, like Baker has two picks and a fumble, and the Saints lead by 10 at halftime, and then Todd Bowles is like, "Cut it out, just run the ball." Goddamn.
I'm saying this right now, like in all honesty, if the Saints win this game Sunday, it will be the most pissed off I have ever been in my life at a Saints win. Like, name one other time you were more pissed when they won a game. You can't.
I can tell you one time that I was really, really close. 2005, they played the Lions on Christmas Eve. And they, by all rights, had that game freaking won. And I was losing my mind because I was like, instead of picking first or second, we're going to pick seventh. I can't believe this. And I was losing my mind. And
they made it happen.
And the Detroit made it happen and won the game. And it was Joey Harrington completed like a 4th and 30, and they did a walk-off.
Oh my God, Joey Harrington!
They did a walk-off field goal, and it was amazing.
Former Saints legend Joey Harrington.
Oh my God,
Saints
yes, that's right.
But
who's doing random Saint, by the way? Is that me today?
Yeah, it's you tonight.
Okay.
So that's it. So thanks for the mailbag, guys.
Maybe I'll pick Joey Harrington.
So now it's time for now it's time for game predictions. I didn't even see the line on the Tampa game. I didn't update the rundown. I apologize, Thomas.
It's got send out the rundown anyway. So
no, I didn't. Y'all don't read it anyway.
I
gotta say.
I go in and I correct all your misspellings.
That's gotta be.
I also do that.
That's gotta be. Oh yeah, Tampa's minus 13. That number can't be high enough. Like, but Saints are underdogs by 13 at Tampa.
Normally you take the double-digit dog, Ralph, right?
Yeah, normally you do, but I haven't done that investment strategy in a couple of years. So Thomas, let's recap Are we going to recap last week?
We're gonna recap not only last week but also the Packers game, because I promised to recap it off stream. But when I saw the results, come on guys, look at the fantasy points. Spencer Rattler for Kevin 4.9, Alontae Taylor 5 points, and Kendra Miller 5.1. Jesus Christ, man! The difference between the first and the third place was only 0.2, man. Only 0.2.
Between
first and third. First and third. Yeah, third. Yeah.
This is disgusting. This is disgusting.
Crazy shit.
Yeah,
Andrew
we're climbing back.
And this is the last
back
game.
in last place where he belongs. Put him back in the basement where he belongs.
But both Dave and Ralph predicted the exact score the Saints would have. So two crazy weeks for predictions, guys.
Wow.
And let's have a look at the current standings.
Oh, mamacita.
Wow. Andrew's still in the lead.
I pulled within 9 though.
Yeah.
Andrew,
This feels right. This feels
There's
right.
still a chance, a slim one, but you know.
Andrew, you
need a Hail Mary, Dave. I have to disappoint. You need a Hail Mary.
Andrew, you were really
pretty likely. Should I congratulate
you? But you know what? I've already, and I think we can all agree. There's only one game left. I don't think there's anything that could happen that would prevent me from winning the undrafted free agent son thing. So I've already got that locked up. So I'll take second in this. Second place. Finish in these two contests is pretty good. I don't want to get too greedy.
But Andrew, I got to say, you were really close to the Saints Happy Hour treble. You're going to win the prediction contest. Your 5-12 record predictions probably going to hit. If you would have won UDFA Sun, you would have won the treble. So
Wait a minute. What was my season prediction? Did I pick 6 and 11? Because now maybe I want the Saints to win this game.
Picked 8 and 9.
I don't think I went that high. Thomas, can you look that up real quick? I don't think I went that high.
I'm drunk. Picked 11 and 6.
Oh man, God, you were way off.
Hey man, after that Dallas game, it felt possible. It felt likely. I was like, I am king of all the world because they are going to go. They're going to be the 1 seed in the NFC, and then
8 and 9, Dave. 8 and 9.
Oh, I did. Oh, Jesus.
All right. So I'll go first. Go first.
Yep. You're low man on the totem pole.
Thomas, I don't remember shit about my prediction earlier.
You don't remember anything. It was pretty crazy. It was pretty crazy. Maybe you'll get your memory back. I don't know. Or you want me to show it?
Oh God! Did you pick them to win?
No. It was like I think I like Bucs 56-21 or something. Like yeah.
What?
Like
who was scoring all of these points?
9-17.
Yeah, that sounds about right. This game, I mean, Tampa is going to wreck the Saints. Like the Tampa's offense is really good. It's why they're points. Like Tampa's offense is really good. That's why Liam Cohen is predicted to be a head coaching candidate.
They like to run up the score on bad teams too.
They do. They're front runners. Thomas, put up who I picked because I wanted to pick Kamara. You told me I couldn't.
You cannot. So you need to pick someone else. Come on.
So who did I pick? I forget.
You wanted Kamara and you didn't send me anything else. Kamara.
All right, I will pick. I can't pick Kendra Miller. I already picked him. I'll pick Spencer Rattler. I haven't picked him, so I'll pick Spencer Rattler.
You haven't?
So maybe the Spencer Rattler fanboys and his family can stay the hell out of my DM. They still climbed into my DM after this Raider game. They're like, that first half was good, wasn't it? Like, they don't give out participation medals in the NFL.
They're dedicated, man. So Rattler it is.
So what did Kevin?
Kevin gets to go.
Who do you think Kevin picked?
The Bucs.
The Bucs. He didn't.
I don't think anybody picks the Saints.
No.
That is true. Kevin picked the Bucs to win 30-13, and his fantasy player of the game is Cam Jordan.
Oh, okay.
Lamont says we should have a Hail Mary pick in honor of Dave that can count for double.
Well, I'm making a Hail Mary pick right here to see if I can do something and catch up with him. Yep.
What do you got, Dave?
All right, it's my turn. I think we're all in agreement here. No way Saints are winning. Bucs all the way. We don't want them to win anyway. So honestly, maybe that's the reason why we should pick the Saints, because I'm sure they'll do whatever would disappoint us most. I don't think the score is going to be as crazy as Ralph and Kevin say. I'm going Bucs 27, Saints 13. And I can't believe there's even people left to pick from. I feel like we're so deep now. We've picked everybody. I am going to go with... Wait, so who's going to be running back now that Kendre Miller is...
Kamara wants to play.
I can't pick him anymore. I'm gonna go with Miles Austin Jr. I know that's not his name, but that's what I'm calling.
All right,
Kevin Austin Jr.
Miles Austin Jr.
All right, Andrew.
Wait, did you pick him already or not?
No. Get out of here.
Oh, that's surprising.
Is it Kevin Austin Jr.? You think?
Yeah, like everyone keeps picking him. Like every week, someone picks him. So I thought you were probably
Kevin Jr. on the way.
Kevin Jr. on the way.
Well, my dream scenario, like I said, is Saints are up 3 scores. The Bucs rally late. They tie. They score a touchdown, and so they need the extra point to win, and the Saints block it. But wait. The Saints are offside, so they get to re-kick, and then the kick is good, and they win by 1 point. But that's ridiculous. We know this offense isn't going to produce that kind of points. Bucs 28, Saints 3.
Oh,
my prediction.
Whoa.
28-3.
Love it. Went with it.
Take that, Falcons, and put it in your pipe and smoke it. My player of the game, go Tigers. Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Oh, that's the other guy.
Yeah.
The other guy.
Here's my only thing with it. There's always one team in week 18 that has like a layup game that blows it. Like the Colts did it a couple years ago when they lost to the Jaguars after they had fired Urban Meyer and they got housed and everybody was like, what is happening? And they did it at, I think, no, that was at the Jaguars. So it wasn't at home. But this game, I don't even know if shenanigans could save the Saints, but it does kind of feel prime shenanigan-y. Like, just a little bit. Just saying. So, to wrap up the show, Thomas, give the donation list, because the donations tonight, to end the year, were just amazing.
Yeah, tons of generosity, guys. We are on a 73-week donation streak. So the streak is alive. We reached 2 donation goals tonight, thanks to Jason Champagne, to Budrich,
thank you,
to Hudat Gopher, and for the second straight week, the MVP with $128, who is the one and only Tulane hater, Oppenheimer! Congratulations!
He should change his name to Tulane instead of Oppenheimer. He should be Tulane hater. Okay.
Tulaneheimer.
It's time for Random Saint of the Week. Andrew, you're up. Remember, Dave, 15 seconds to talk about Random Saint of the Week. It's not another 10-minute segment.
Well, Dave's not going to remember this one, but
Wait, did I do that last week?
Yeah.
Who was my random saint?
Dementia already.
Drunk.
Dementia.
Yeah, I don't remember this. Who was my random saint?
Nobody, man. We didn't. We did it after the game, so the random was all over the place. Come on.
My random saint is one Joel Schmengi.
Joel Schmengi.
Yeah, he was with the Saints from 1990 to 1994, so he played 5 seasons with the Saints as a defensive end.
What kind of name is that? Jewish? He sounds Jewish. Is that
Maybe,
Jewish?
But he played 72 games with the Saints as a defensive end. He had 1.5 sacks in 72 games. The 2 things I remember the most about him is, number one, when they do the player intros, and you're defensive players for the Saints, and they all say their name and what college they went to. He would always stick his tongue out. So he'd be like, Joel Schmengi. He would always do that on the broadcast. So him sticking out his tongue to the camera was a thing. And the other notable thing is that my dad nicknamed him Joel Schmegma because he was so terrible.
The only thing I remember about Joel Schmengi is the Jaguars, who were an expansion team at the time, I think, gave him a 4-year, $5 million contract, which was pretty nice contract in the 90s.
He was good for them. He was decent.
And it gave Buddy D an aneurysm. He was like, they signed to Bill Schmigmug to 5 years, $5 million. What is going on? That's all I remember of.
In 6 years with Jacksonville, he had 34 sacks. In 5 years with the Saints, he had 1.5.
Oh my God.
Jesus. He's the Rob Ninkovich. He was he walked so Rob Ninkovich could run.
Yeah, Zach Bond basically.
he was dollar store Trey Hendrickson.
There you go.
But anyway, God, I am drunk. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the show and we made you laugh, consider supporting the show by going to patreon.com/saintshappyhour. We have a ton of discounts on the site for the holidays. And if you click the link in the chat or in the description, you can get 2 months for free, courtesy of Hard Hide Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey. So you should do it. Give us a shot. Every little bit helps, makes the show a little bit better. Don't forget to follow us on our socials and wherever you get your podcast. Thanks to Dave, Andrew, Thomas, the best producer on earth, running the show back in Poland when he's not doing weird holiday stuff.
Frying up some carp.
Yeah.
What do you mean weird?
That he massacred in the bathtub. Until next time, the bar is closed.